Hello, students. This video is for the framing for your structure. So up in the top corner, you can write down floor framing, about the same size, because you're going to need room on the bottom to actually draw out your floor framing template. By the time we're done with this, you are going to be building your subfloor right on top of this paper. So to start, you are going to be your contractor and the carpenter are going to be cutting joists today for you. And then when they come back, you will have this done so we can use it to build right on top of it. So the joists you're using are going to be 1/8 of an inch by 3/4 by 5 3/4. All right. You're going to need You're going to need 7 of those. Quantity 7. All right. You are also going to need the same size joists except a longer length, 1/8 by 3/4 by 8 inch, and you're going to need 2 of those. And once you have those, you'll be able to do your floor. So the overall floor area is going to be 6 inches by 8 inches. All right, so what we're going to do is down here, we're actually going to draw the outside of the floor. So on this ruler here, the 0 lines here, so make sure you realize that. Take a look at the ruler you're using and make sure the 0 line isn't on the edge of the ruler. Just always go from the 0 line. I'm actually going to go this way first because I have to make sure I fit 6 inches this way. I don't want the 6 to be off the paper when I start working because then we'll have problems. So I'm going to start about here. I'm going to try to stay right on one of the blue lines. It'll just make things easier later. And I'm going to back off the ruler just a little so that my pencil line goes on that blue line. It'll make a 6-inch long line here. All right, so there's 6 inches. So the total area over here is 6 inches. I'm sorry, the total length, I should say. Now across the bottom, I'm going to go across 8 inches. These little squares are supposed to be 1/4 of an inch, but I feel like they're a little small. So notice when I hold the ruler, I hold it with 2 fingers kind of wide, so that way the ruler doesn't move on me when I draw my line. All right, so there's that line. I'll turn it this way, get my 6-inch line up this direction. Again, backing my ruler off just a hair so that it goes over the blue line. It's not necessary, I guess, but I like to make it fit. And then across the top, all I really have to do is line up with that blue line because I've been staying on them. And like I said, these are 1/4 inch little squares on this grid paper, meaning 4 of them is an inch. And this is 6 inches by 8 inches, so it works out, so it covers them perfectly. All right, so there we go. There's the outside of our floor. Let me see if I can make this a little higher. I cannot. All right, so the 8-inch, we'll call this the top and the bottom. Like we said before at the beginning, they're 1/8 inch wide. So I'm going to put a little mark partway down at 1/8 of an inch. And on this ruler, that is, let's see, right here. All right, and then I'll do the same thing on the bottom. Right here. All right. And I'm going to draw a line across. This is going to represent that 8-inch piece. Because we're on grid paper, it's pretty easy just to line it up perfect and draw your line across. All right, so this is not an 8-inch piece, but you can see that it fits right over. All right, so I got to do the same thing on the bottom. I like to be able to see the line I'm referencing, so I'm going to turn it around. So it's about right like that. Hold the ruler down tight. And there we go. So there is our 8-inch line on that side. Okay, so the in-betweens are going to be, going across here. But before we start them, let's draw the ones on the sides first. So I'm going to do another 8-inch line here. This time I'll just draw it while I'm working on it. And this line across is going to be 5 3/4. I'm not even going to bother measuring it. Oh, maybe I will just to show you. When I line this up, you'll see that it lines up perfectly with 5 3/4 right there. Right there. So this piece here is a 5 3/4 long piece. Same thing on the opposite side. I'm going to put in my 1/8 of an inch little mark so I can draw the thickness of this joist. Straight as I can get it so your floor is not all crooked when you build it. Bam. Now, our building code states that our joists need to be 1.5 inches apart on center. What that means is the center of the joist should be at 1.5 inches from the center of this one. So what we'll do is line this 0 line up right here with the center of that joist. And every 1.5 inches, I'm going to put a little mark because the joist is going to go there. All right, so we need one here at 1.5. We're going to need one at 3. We're going to need one at 4.5. We're going to need one at 6, and then 7.5, and we can't go anymore. So we'll have a goofy looking space on the end, but that's just how it works. As long as there's at least one every 1.5 inches, you've done it right. I did mention that these are on center, so that means the center of the joist is going to be right on the middle of that line. So it's going to be like that. So in other words, when you draw your line, you're going to go a little bit to the side of that mark. Draw one side of your joist. Oh, that did not work. Let's try that again. There we go. And then we'll go to this side of it. You don't have to measure your 1/8. You can kind of eyeball it. There's the other side. All right, and then we'll just go down and do one on the rest of the marks. Okay, 2 more. And the last one here. And this, ladies and gentlemen, will be your subfloor. They are 1.5 inches apart. There are 7 of the cross joists, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you got your 2 8-inchers on either side. So there you go, a template that you can build right on top of when you're hot gluing together the framing for your subfloor. The end.